Winter is coming and my tea consumption is about to skyrocket. Today I'm harvesting a bunch of my favourite herbs for tea, including a couple of Aussie natives that you might not know about. I'll tell you a bit about each plant's use in our permaculture system and the best ways of harvesting, drying and storing them. It's actually way too hot to be wearing all of this stuff. Whether you're in it for the calming vibes, the digestive perks, or just to avoid paying $12 for a box of supermarket tea, this video is for you. Lemon balm, mint, lemon verbena, lemongrass, lemon myrtle, cinnamon myrtle. Apparently, I've got a type, and if it's slightly lemon flavoured, it's probably growing in this garden and I like to drink it for tea. First off, some general tips about drying and harvesting herbs. The best time to do this is in the morning after the dew has dried on all the leaves. In terms of the best time of year to do it, apparently the best time for the maximum essential oils is just before the plant actually flowers. This is autumn right now. It's definitely not the best time of year, but I need some tea, so that's what we're doing. It's the real world. Things don't always happen on time. You want to snip just above a leaf node like you would when you were pruning so that you encourage more bushy growth. So just think of it like you're pruning the plant, but you're getting to keep the prunings instead of putting them in the compost pile. And I'll cover the tips for how to dry and store them at the end of the video. Lemon balm is one of my favorites for herbal tea. We're growing it here in our food forest system as a living ground cover or mulch. The lovely lemony flavor is a good pest repellent. It flowers beautifully, so it attracts pollinators. And as a ground cover, of course, its function is to suppress the weeds. As a herbal tea, lemon balm is a very good calming and anxiety reducing tea. For instance, if I've had too many coffees like I have today, I'm all over the place because I'm so caffeinated. Caffeine, it will really help bring me down a notch from my jittery state. It's also really great for digestive health and can be used as a before bed sleepy time tea. So my favorite herbal tea at the moment is to blend a little bit of mint and lemon balm together. It is late autumn, so it's already had a bit of a prune and it is starting to die back. It will grow back vigorously over the summer months. I think that's all I had to say about lemon balm. I'm gonna get out of this garden now and hope that there's not a leech on my butt. I did get a leech earlier already, so moving on. Mint! Now, we've kind of got mint growing everywhere. It's an unpopular opinion, but we have planted it in the ground in our food forest. If you don't have a lot of space, I do not recommend planting mint in the ground. It's better to grow it in a container because it does spread voraciously. But in a permaculture system, if you've got a lot of space and you want a good ground cover that's very hardy, very good in moist environments, and will compete with grass, mint is a really good thing to have in your food forest. As a living ground cover, it suppresses weeds and can help prevent erosion as well. It thrives in moist environments and is a great pest repellent, especially for your chicken runs. As a tea, it's great for soothing digestive issues. It's perfect to drink after a big heavy meal. It can also be good to relieve headaches apparently and acts as a natural decongestant. We're actually growing two different types of mint here. This is an apple mint and we've also got a true mint as well. When I harvest it for tea, I just mix them both together. The apple mint is a slightly sweeter and more subtle flavour. So the process of harvesting this one is actually a bit more of a foraging environment. Just have to sort of go around and pick little bits of it from everywhere. Lemongrass has a bunch of great uses in a permaculture garden because it grows so well. It's a great biomass producer, so basically it's a good chop and drops. Chop and drop does what it says on the tin. You can prune it, chop it up, drop it on the ground, and it turns into a mulch. Perfect for a permaculture system where you don't want to have to import mulch all the time. So you just prune it back and it will grow prolifically again. It thrives in moist conditions and here it grows all year round, so I don't actually dry it for tea myself, but if you were going to do that, you would snip it off at the base and chop it up into little sections. I use it in Asian soups and stews and curries. I love that lemony flavour with garlic and ginger and all those yummy things. As a tea, lemongrass can aid in digestion and reduce bloating. It also is a very calming tea, so can help with reducing anxiety. So Mum's the expert on lemongrass tea and she's just told me the ends just taste like hay.
You can have some of the leafy bits.
Apparently you can have some of the leafy bits.
Let me in! Because I really like lemongrass tea. You need to use the root to get the good flavour, and the lower down, the better. The trouble with the root is it's hard to cut into little pieces, but you get a better flavour.
So actually digging out a little bit of the root is better than the base of the stalk?
Well, I haven't actually done it.
Okay.
I haven't dug it out, but I mean to, which is why I saw you here, and I want to say to you, please dig me out a bit of root while you're there.
I'm not doing that in this pretty dress, that's for sure.
I don't know that you need to have the actual whole root, but You want to go as low as you can.
Well, that makes sense because when you're cooking, you use the base of it anyway.
Yes.
You only want that little bit. This top bit is literally grass. I mean, it's lemongrass. Right, well,
I'm
in the garden right now, but it's very uncomfortable. So we're going to move on to the next herb.
Right.
Thanks, Mum. That made that section much more interesting. Lemon verbena. Get off me, bug. Lemon verbena is a lovely, fragrant little bush. It's a perennial. It will come back time and time again. It loves a good prune. In a permaculture garden, it's a great source of chop and drop mulch, so it just keeps coming back year after year. Its strong scent is a great natural insect repellent. It also has wonderful white flowers, which attract bees and all kinds of pollinators to the garden. Since it's a shrub, it's also a decent windbreak, and we're using it in another area of the garden to actually hold a bank together that's sort of prone to erosion. As a tea, lemon verbena supports digestive health and it also aids in relaxation. In my opinion, this tastes a little bit stronger than lemon balm, so if lemon balm is a little bit too sweet or mild for you, then lemon verbena could be a good choice. As you can see, lemon myrtle is a tall boy or girl. It's a tall plant. If you're an Aussie, you're probably very familiar with the scent of lemon myrtle. It's a very popular oil to use in soaps, skincare products, cleaning products. That's because lemon myrtle has the highest natural content of citral, so it is highly valued for its flavoring and essential oil purposes. But in addition to all of that, in a permaculture system, it's a very good source of chop and drop mulch. It is an evergreen. It grows really densely, so it's great as a windbreak or a screening hedge. We've got this one out the front of our house as a sort of visual barrier, and it's a native Australian plant that was well used by the indigenous peoples of this land before we all got here. Because it's so high in citral, it has a great antioxidant and antimicrobial properties when you drink it as a tea. So I use this when I have a sore throat. It soothes your throat really well and it boosts your immune health and also can aid in digestion. So great for when you're feeling a little bit under the weather. It's quite a strong flavor, so I do like to mix it with some honey, and it's not one that I reach for unless I am ill. But some people just love drinking it for the lols. There's a leech on my leg. Oh yeah, there is. Get off me, old beast. Hang out on this thing. Yeah. I find the best leaves to pick for tea are the soft new leaves right at the top of the tips of the branches. But it is a plant that can take a heavy prune. And it's really interesting because when this plant flowers, it then continues growing up past the flowers. So it's really easy to just chop the section off that's above the flower to keep it to a nice dense bushy shape. Last but not least, my absolute favorite, cinnamon myrtle. It's an Australian native that we didn't plant here. It grows naturally around where I live, which is an amazing gift. Of course, as an edible native, it was originally used by the indigenous peoples of Australia. And I would like to take a moment here to acknowledge the traditional custodians of this land, who are the Wadi Wadi people of Dharawal country. I pay my respects to the elders past, present and emerging, and I am grateful every day that I am able to live, care for and make videos on this beautiful land. So cinnamon myrtle, as a native Australian plant, it supports biodiversity. It's a great hedging plant. As you can see, it grows big and bushy, but we do also use it as a low hedge and a way of preventing soil erosion in another area of the property. True to its name, cinnamon myrtle smells and tastes a little bit like cinnamon, though a little different. But my favorite thing to do with these is to just add a couple of leaves into my regular black tea brew. And it makes it taste a little bit more like a chai. So if I'm feeling a little like a spicy afternoon tea, that's what I will add. It's a tea similar to cinnamon. It has calming properties, it aids in digestion and can help with heartburn. Also, much like actual cinnamon, this can be used to flavor cooking dishes. As you can see, the new growth is very red in color, and these are the best ones to harvest for tea. So these you want to just snip off the growing tips like this. And obviously you don't want to do this all the time because you'll stop it growing. So doing this with respect and care and not taking more than you need. Oh, so cinnamony, I love it. Drying cinnamon myrtle, because you're just gonna have these little bits, I like to just lay them out flat on a drying rack or just stick them in a paper bag. These dry very quickly, so they won't take long at all. Or you can use them fresh as well. This is right outside my back door, I love it. Also, always forage responsibly. Don't start eating random native plants unless you're absolutely sure you know what it is. Be careful with your own health, don't just eat random plants. When it comes to drying and storing them, the general rule for herbs is to dry them in a cool, dark place out of direct sunlight. Make sure to give them a wash first and remove any bugs. For the bigger herbs, the best method is to tie them in bunches and put them in a big paper bag. And for the smaller herbs, I like to just lay them out on a drying rack. In a couple of weeks, once your herbs have dried, the best place to store your teas is in an airtight, dark container. Thanks for joining me as I harvest some teas. I hope you learnt a little bit about these plants. Are there any herbs you grow in your garden that you love to drink for tea? Let me know in the comments, I'd love to hear your thoughts, especially ones that have multiple uses like these. If you liked the video, please share it and subscribe to the channel as I post videos every second Tuesday, roughly. Thanks for watching, bye! I'm sweating. Don't start eating random native plants unless you know what it tastes like. Wait, multi-purpose plant. We love those in permaculture. I'm sweating again.